So I've been writing the Indiacharts Insiders platform for so many years, but when we actually started doing the weekend with Indiacharts, and people started calling it the Netflix of listening to market and finance, it was pretty kicking because that's sort of been the thought behind our business model, which is that we don't want to be an advisory service, which means I'm not really going to tell anybody what to buy or sell. But at the same time, we're going to give you a very, very high level of market analysis and understanding of so many factors, how they interact with the markets, that your entire understanding of what is happening, why it's happening, and where we are headed goes to a completely new level. So only people who are seriously interested in understanding markets, and want to get that sense of confidence of what is really going on, are going to look at this platform and be here. So unlike what anybody else would do, which is very, very thought of, as a right way of doing business, which is, split up the entire service. We do so much of content that at the price of 800 per month, I think it's as good as free, because we not only publish up to 6 to 10 articles a day, it's almost dozens of articles a week. Then the weekly write-up, weekly wrap on the medium-term trends, the long-short report, which is monthly, then the weekend with Indiacharts, where we sit down and do an hourly video. And then, of course, we are doing mentorship training, which is a parallel activity. And so when you put out so much of content and share it with everyone on a singular platform, including your videos, including your podcasts, then 800 per month is simply, like I said, it's as good as free, because nobody, I think, would, have the sense of, putting out so much at such a price. They would sort of split everything up, buy this for so much, buy that for that much. But because we didn't want to make this an advisory service, that's not what we ended up doing. We wanted it to be a place where people come to enhance their understanding, to learn, and then, have a completely different level of thinking about, how markets are behaving. And that's how we really want to take it forward. And then they start studying each of the micro and macro factors. And then we cover the micro factors on a day-to-day basis. So you know what we are writing about and what it means to your investments and your portfolio. So that approach, I think, is going to be the way we are going to go forward. You really want to achieve scale in terms of the number of people who end up utilizing the platform, which is what makes the pricing sensible, rather than, you only look at having a niche audience. Although given the high-end quality of work, I think I do end up with a niche audience, because most people find my work to be very, very technical and sometimes hard to understand. We are trying very much to, simplify and maybe come out with new modules of, educate yourself write-ups that can make it easier for people to understand what we are writing and how to use the tools on the website. We're also going to be adding a lot of things that, common analysts would find useful, which is a whole lot of sentiment indicators, something I've been thinking of doing for years now. But we are finally getting onto that project. So I hope in the next 3 months at least, we are able to finally put it online, where you will be able to access, everything from advanced decline ratio, put call ratio, various other data points that I think are not so easily available, with the FI positioning, and all of those in chart format along with indices, which would make it, easy to access and scroll through, so that you can, do your own analysis as well on where these indicators are and what they mean for your specific market. So we've also added, in fact, the daily sentiment index for people who trade global markets, commodities and currencies. It's an expensive sentiment tool feature, or rather I should say service, available from the European provider, and that allows you to know what is the sentiment of a large host of traders in those individual markets, which is what they survey and put out, and therefore it gives you a clear sense of how people are thinking about each particular market. And extremes in sentiment, when you find that 95% of people are on one side of the market, you can actually think if there is a potential for a trend reversal when you combine it with Elliott waves. So that's what we are really doing. We're pretty excited about what we do in terms of enhancing people's understanding of markets, rather than focusing on simply buy-sell recommendations, which I think many people out there are already doing, and does not necessarily add value to everyone, because finally it's behavioral finance that takes over. It's your individual behavior to be able to adapt to the rights and wrongs of each individual call and getting the best out of it, positioning it in your portfolio. That makes a difference of whether you'll achieve the end results or not. And what we try to do is give you the confidence to actually, take those decisions. And therefore, the learning is at a different degree. It's really to be confident about what you're doing rather than, just, hearing about, oh, you should do this or you should do that or you should buy this or you should sell that. And we hope that that's the way to go forward. And we'll continue to focus on, providing the highest level of inputs every day to everyone who becomes part of this. And the best way it's going to reach out to more and more people is when you guys who are already enjoying the best and fruits of this start sharing it and informing people to become part of this club and let the club grow bigger and bigger. So thank you for all your support.